Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute light for dark, dark for light, bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes. Isaiah 5:20. Probably my most oft repeated verse this year, and it's because if you're paying attention, the truth is in plain sight. Luigi Mangione, suspected, caught on tape. Who knows? I can almost believe anything. There's so many different conspiracies about everything. Who knows what is the real case? But it certainly appears that he is the shooter of the healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, I believe. And he's being glorified. He's being hailed a hero. He's garnered over 100,000 social media followers since he's been taken into custody. They're releasing his high school valedictorian speech, so he was not a dumb kid. Seems to be popular. And it's almost like straight out of the Joker, although this kid clearly wasn't beaten down as it was in that case, where it got to the point of glorifying and romanticizing a sociopath in the Joker movie, but people were glorifying when the Joker killed people because they had been led down a path to sympathize with him. Now, I have no idea who Luigi Mangione is, what his heart position is, but the fact that over 100,000 people at least are making a hero out of this guy who just shot somebody in cold blood, regardless of circumstance, shows you where we're at as a society. In a world that glorifies revenge and vengeance, that talks about pluralism and preaches the duality of man, where the ends justifies the means. The movie Craven, it's basically a Marvel superhero version of Dexter, somebody who kills people, but only if they are deserving of it based on his moral barometer. Not based on God's or anybody else's, because there's a lot of cyclical abuse in this world, and oftentimes the abused becomes the abuser, but we never get to the heart of that because there's a lack of grace and forgiveness that is necessary to really bring anybody to the truth and bring anybody to a place of forgiveness. Who knows what the real story is with Luigi Mangione? Who knows if we will ever sniff the truth about what's really going on? He could be a patsy. Who knows? He could be a Manchurian candidate. I have no idea. Certainly seems cut and dry if you look at the evidence, but evidence can be manufactured, and it often is. So who knows what the truth is? The only thing that is for sure is that this situation is a good cultural barometer of where we're at as far as morality, as far as a seared conscience, as far as being happy about somebody being shot in cold blood because we disagree or we have something against that person or the projection of who that person is across the wide range of people. Because in this society of victims and oppressed, it's pretty much a have or have not situation. So if you fall into that category that the healthcare CEO is, people will dance on your grave if they think you had it coming, if somebody takes you out. Or doesn't always have to be death, but whatever. There's fights in the streets every day. There's people filming rather than helping. We live in a desensitized world already. And if we're propping up killers the way we see happening in the movies, we're seeing that, you know, art is a mirror of life and vice versa. You know, they say art imitates life, but it's really working in reverse. And it always has. And I think that's really the point. And when you're talking about the idols that are created through the mediums of art and entertainment, it's no wonder consciences are seared everywhere. People are lacking forgiveness. The hearts of many are growing cold as wickedness increases, and we're seeing it as we glorify killers. There's a backstory for all of it. We all have a sob story. Jesus has a sob story, but he conquered death on the grave so we would not have to wallow in oppressed misery, thinking that everything that beats us down was meant to beat us down. It should be drawing us closer to God, the one that created us, because this is but a temporary moment we're in this world. Spiritual beings live in a human experience. If you remember that, it's a lot easier to get through the tough times. This world will knock you down, but it's you get up, you keep fighting, and by fighting, keep pointing to Christ, keep looking to Christ. You don't fight back fire with fire. You fight it with water, the water of life, the love of Christ. Carry your cross. Don't allow the world glorifying violence, demonizing large groups of people to allow you to have your conscience seared to the point where you're applauding murder in the street. I pray this finds you well. There's a lot of things to rejoice over. I hope you're focusing on those, starting with Christ, but we need to be aware of the conditioning that's going on. So I pray this finds you well. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.